let us go to Austin. Florida heading to Austin. Florida put up a valiant effort against Georgia despite losing DJ Lagway. Florida's line of scrimmage play has gotten considerably better as the season has gone on. We had a long discussion on Saturday Night Show about Billy Napier. There's a separate video on YouTube if you'd like to just watch that discussion. If you go to the On3 Sports YouTube channel, I don't know that it's going to change anything for Billy Napier ultimately, but it is encouraging. That said, Ari, Texas now knows they're playing as Florida's QB3. My guess is even though Florida has gotten better on the lines of scrimmage as the season has gone on, this is where all that runs out.
The thing I can't get out of my head is how good Florida looked in the trenches. I can't get that out of my head. And I don't know if that was an anomaly or if that was a sign of development and production that is to be expected. That said, I think Florida's not going to score much. I don't know.
That's the problem. And I think it's going to be one of those situations where maybe for a half, they're hanging in because the defense is hanging in. But actually, this would probably play out similarly to the Oklahoma-Texas game, where it just snowballs as the defense keeps getting put back on the field.
Yeah, this is one of those games, too, where it's like, if it's 17-7 at halftime, you're probably feeling pretty good if you're Florida, right? And then the exact, for instance, Florida played the best possible game it could have played under the circumstances that it was in. And then a bad mistake at the end of the game, and Georgia covered 14 points. Like they got to Georgia, I think was a 15-point favorite going into the game. But you watch that entire game. If you had Georgia minus 13.5, like some of us did, you just were toast in the middle of the third quarter.
I got to tell you about PrizePicks. Best daily fantasy game in America. Download that app, sign up, use the code Staples, play $5, get $50 instantly. You're picking squares. You've got a player attached to a stat category. You decide, is this more than, less than? So the college football board has not been set yet for this week. You're going to start seeing those go up on Monday afternoon because there's MACtion games on Tuesday night. There's Conference USA and Sun Belt games during the week. And then, of course, we've got that Friday Iowa-UCLA game. But here's Monday Night Football tonight. Chiefs, Bucks, Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes. Your Baker Mayfield number is 238.5 passing yards, more than or less than. Hope you don't have a Tua situation, because remember, Tua was at the more than, and then he throws it to Jalen Waddle, he threw it to somebody else. They were playing pitchy woo-woo at the end of the Bills game, and they end up losing a bunch of yards. And so Tua's passing yardage total goes to the less than. But Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be fun on Monday Night Football. So, yeah, get a little PrizePicks play going as you watch the game. Use the code Staples, play $5, get $50 instantly.
Like you weren't going to win that bet. And then all
you
of a sudden
shouldn't have covered, by the way. Like when we picked it when it was 16.5. So if you got it early in the week, then Florida did cover.
Yeah, right. Or if you bought points because you're.
Yeah.
Or just got incredibly, extremely lucky. But I'm saying like the 21.5, it could be like a 17-point game and then a weird touchdown at the end like happened on Saturday can get you there. So like I want to pick Florida, but I feel like watching Florida play was going to be extremely frustrating. You have to go into that feeling like you're betting on Iowa because they're not going to be able to move the football.
The old Iowa, not the new Iowa.
Yeah, the old Iowa, the 2023 Iowa.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to lay
21.5. Yeah, I'm taking Texas to cover the 21.5 here, just because I even if Florida plays well for a half, it's going to be very hard for them to score. And if you keep putting the defense back on the field against Texas's offense, bad things happen.
Yeah. And like it's a pretty big opportunity for Quinn Ewers to like have a game. I think he needs a game, dude. I don't know. It's just like at a certain point, as we're getting into November, he needs to have a game because it just like I feel just so much different about Texas now than I did 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. And I still feel like the Texas that I felt like 3 weeks ago is in there somewhere, but you just want to see it, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's for the stretch run. That's what they need to show.